Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to explain more about the inheritance. In my previous video I explained how to create the parent class and how to create the child class. Now let's understand more about the inheritance. So now let's work with some more exercises of inheritance. Yeah, let's take this example so that you can understand more clearly. Look at here. Here we have taken the class which is parent. Okay, let's consider this is the one class name, and we have used the one function which is init function. So you know what is the beauty of the init function. So when the init function is used, so whenever the object has created, at the every object creation the init method will be called. Yes or no? It's right. Now so now let's take what are the things here there, like self, f name, l name. So this f name and l name are the two parameters which are there in this function. So now we have to use like self dot first name equals to f name and self dot last name equals to l name. So no need to be this name and this name should be same. We can use different names also, but you have to remember that this name and this name should be same. This f name and this f name should be same. So these both are same, but no need to use the same name for this name and this name. No need to be same. So we can use the different also. Here also we can even use f name also. It will not get any type of an error, or we can use some other names also, like this first name and last name, or f name or l name also. Okay, till here clear. Now here we have used another method which is def print name, and here we have used simply self and print. Look at here, we have used self dot first name and self dot last name, because this first name and the last name, which is, these are the arguments which are there in this function. So these are there in this function, not in this function. So we have to use the self as a self also as a reference, because this first name and the last name are there in this init function, not in this function. Okay, till here you got a clarity. Now so to access this parent class, we have to create the object. Yes or no? So this is the object creation. We have taken the x, and the class name is parent, and we have two parameters. Don't forget to specify the two parameters, which is f name and the l name. So let's take the f name as John and l name as Hari. Now we have to print the methods which we have. So if you want to print this print name method, so we have to specify with the object creation. So x dot print name. Let's see what will be the output. Yes, we'll be getting the, what are the first name and the last names. We'll be getting the output without throwing any type of an error. Okay, this is a simple program which you know how to use. Okay, now let's do in another way. So now let's try to add the child class also here. So in this way we can use the child class. So let it be the child class as student. So we have taken in the child class reference as parent, and we have used just pass. We don't want to write any type of an code in this, so we have just used pass. But when we are working with the this object creation, but we have used the parent. Now let's see what will be the output. Yes, we'll be getting the output without throwing any error. Because why we are not getting any type of an error? So here we have used the parent class as a object creation, not the child class. In my previous video I explained. So for the creating the object, we have to use the child class, not the parent class. But if we use here the parent class also, we are getting the output. So what is the difference between the previous exercise and now? So what is the difference? Look at here. Now in the child class, we have not used any type of a method or the properties. So just we have used the pass. Now if we want to use here, so if we have the particular method which is first name and the last name in the parent class, not in the child class, so that we have to use the parent class reference only for the object creation, not for the child class, because the first name and the last name attributes are there in the parent class. Okay, understood? So look at here the difference, main difference. Or let's try by using the student also, what will be getting the output. We have to try in many ways. Okay, yeah. Now let's use a class object creation for the child class. So let's see. So now also we are getting the error. See, now also we are getting the output. We are not getting any type of an error. Yes or no? We are not getting any type of an error. We are getting output as usual if we use the parent class or the child class. So means in this case, why we are getting the output if we use the parent class also, child class also, because here in the student class, which is the child class, we have not used any type of methods or the properties to pass. Just we have used the pass statement so that we can access the parent class and the child class also. Main difference is in the parent class only we have specified the attributes. So to access that attributes, we can use the parent class also. Okay, we'll not get any type of an error. We'll be getting the output in the both the conditions. Okay, remember this point. Now look in this way. So when you want to inherit the child class also, when we use this init method in this child class, when we use this init method in the child class, and we already use this init method in the parent class also before. In the parent class we have used init method, and in the child class also we have used init method. At this condition, the child class will not inherit the parent class in this condition. So when we use this init method in the child class and the parent class, at that time it is no use to inherit the property. Yes or no? Inherit is nothing but to take the properties and the methods from the other class. So when we use this init method, it is accessible for the particular class only. So at this time we cannot inherit the other class. Yes or no? So when we use this init method in the child class, at that time remember we cannot access the parent class properties. So that avoid to use init methods in the parent class, so that when we have used the init methods in both parent and the child class, we have to use one more condition to access this particular thing. But remember one thing, don't get any confusion. When we use init method in the parent class and in the child class, we can, at that point we cannot inherit the parent class properties in the child class. To inherit the parent class properties in the child class, even if we use this init method in the parent class and the child class, we have to use one more condition, which is, look at here. At this time we have to call to the parent init function. Why? Because we have to access the parent class init methods also no in the child class. Yes or no? We have to access the parent class init methods also. To access the parent class init methods, we have to explicitly call the parent class init methods in the child class. Yes or no? Now look at here. In this way we can use. Yeah. So here what we have done, we have used the parent class init method by taking the reference of parent class. Understood? In this way we can use. But if we want to use the init methods in the parent class and the child class, we have to explicitly mention this parent class reference. If we will not mention, we will not get the output. Okay, to access this we have to specify with the parent class init method. We have to call the parent class init method in the child class. Remember. Now look at here, we are getting the output without throwing any error. So in this way we can try. So even we have one more thing also. Let's see what is that. Instead of using the parent class, even we can use the super keyword also. Super also is used for to access the parent class. To access the parent class, we'll be using the super keyword. So in upcoming videos, you will be understanding more about this super. So we got error. What error we got? Look at here, this error, the parent type error. Parent dot this init takes 3 positional arguments. Okay, yeah. So they have considered the self is also one type of a parameter or argument. They consider the self also one argument, so that they are saying the 3 arguments, but here we have passed 2 values only. So they are considering that this is also one type of an argument. So remember, when we are working with the super, no need to use the self. Okay, yeah. Now let's see. Now we are getting there. Okay, see the difference. So when we have using the super keyword, no need to use the self, because to access the self is used to access the parent class. So no need to use the self. But when we want to use the parent class reference only, parent name, at the time we have to use how we used in the parent class. So in these two ways we can work with them. Now, if you want to add one more attribute in the child class explicitly, in this way we can add. If you want to add like self dot graduation year equals to 2009 explicitly in the default value we have specified here only. No need to specify again over here. Now let's see what will be the output. Yes, we are getting, but we are not getting the 2019. Why? Because we have not passed over here, no, so we have to explicitly passed. So print x dot, what is the attribute here, graduation here. So yeah, we have to explicitly mention over here. In this way now we are we can get the output. Yeah, now look at here, we got 2019. Okay, so when we use explicitly another attribute, so we have to specify to print this 2019 also. We have to explicitly mention the attribute, particular attribute which we have added. Okay, or simply you can even use in this way, like year we can directly add the particular value of the year. Just 2020, let it be 2020. Yeah, yeah. So at this time we have to specifically add the particular attribute over here also, which is a year, and here also year. So when we are not specifying the default value, we have to specify this year, and we have to specify the value of this year in this place when we are creating the object creation simply. Yeah, we are getting the output. So when we want to use explicitly the default value over here, we can use the default value over here. If not, we can use some attribute name and we can access that particular value to this attribute, and we have to specify the particular attribute over here. So in this class, why? Because we are using this year attribute in the child class, not the in the parent class. So we are using this year attribute in the child class. Look at here, we are using the child class only. We are using the year attribute in the child class, so that we have to specify the year in this only. No, we have to not specify here. But why? Because it is a parent class init function. So it is a parent class init method. Yes or no? So we have to not specify here. So here this statement is used to access the parent class. Okay, to access the parent class we are using this thing. We have to not explicitly mention that year, because the year is there only in the child class, not in the parent class, which I said before only in my previous video. So what are the methods and the properties are there in the parent class? We can access the properties and the methods in the child class. But what are the methods and the properties and the attributes which are there in the child class we cannot access in the parent? Yes or no? So this year is there in the child class, not in the parent class, so that we cannot access year in the parent class. Okay, I think you understood. I think with this example you got more clarity about this init and init function and the self, and how to use this inheritance. As or no? So even we have some types of inheritance like single inheritance, multi-level, and multiple. So many inheritance we have. So this is just inherit concept. So in this we have so many types also. So these about these types I will be explaining in next upcoming video. But as of now, that's it for this video. I think you understood about how to use this inheritance. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Let's meet in next video.